Conversation with the Mafia, live edition, Tuesday. You got myself, Chris, joined with Coach Marcus.
Yo, what's up, everybody? How's it
uh,
going today?
We just got this new setup here in the studio, so forgive us as we try to get acquainted here. How we doing tonight?
I hope everybody's doing good, man. I hope our live is actually coming forth on everything.
That's a good. That is a good thing. So
if you guys can receive the live, let us know what you guys are seeing.
Make sure that when you guys see it, go ahead and share it out, like it. Give us a sound check if you're on here. And I do see it live on the conversations page. Drop a couple hearts there. Welcome in. Welcome in.
I do not see it, but oh wow, we're going to get going anyway. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We're trying to get this thing going on every Tuesday and stuff. And so what we said that we were going to do is we're going to do a lot of shout outs during this time to people that have companies and stuff if you post up and you come into this chat. But what I wanted to talk about today, and we're only going to go 20 minutes because we're still going to cut our own video for a few weeks from now that we'll release. We wanted to talk about some of the current events. Some of the things that I was looking at. So check it out. What I was looking at earlier and stuff, I'm going to start up on the light side, is I was watching Drewski's new video of Joe Jackson, right? And bro, I was cracking up, man. He was bringing that bout out left and right on those kids, man. He was like, hey, they were like, hey, can we go play with those kids in the park? No, you can get to the studio and dance. You can rehearse some more. Y'all gonna provide me with the lifestyle that I've been wanting and stuff. So he cracked me up. And so I was watching some of that and started looking at some of the things that Drewski was doing in that skit. And one of the things that he turned around and said was one of the monologues was in 1969, the things that you was able to get away with, you hear that belt cracking and stuff. And what's amazing to me, if you guys are in the chats or if anybody's there, if you remember, beatings were very common on kids back then. Discipline was a whole different ball game. And that probably might be some of the things that we're missing in today's society behind our kids, being spoiled and not listening and not being respectful towards elders and just those things. And so if you got a comment about that, please hit up Chris right now. He's on, and say what you have to say about that. But that Drewski skit had me rolling, dude. I was like they even had the little thing that said Joe, and the belt buckle came into the thing, and I was like, man, this cat gets into it.
You know what I like about that whole Drewski thing is I like how the triggered people get triggered so quick by it. I don't watch too many. I mean, just when you said Drewski, I just remember the pastor one that he did.
He did another one at the BET Awards, bro.
And then I'm sitting here kind of like, is my red bottom showing? Like I'm flying through. Yeah, that Drewski's a clown. I like it though because that's what comedy's supposed to be, right?
Fact.
I mean, I don't think, in all honesty, right? I think it's a shout out, even if they're making fun of me, that they took the time to acknowledge me. You know what I mean? Because if you could get it that much to a T, that to me lets me know that
you paying attention,
that you watch it, man. So you know what I mean?
Even if you're sending out some hate paragraphs and stuff, you paying attention.
Yeah, big ups to Drewski, man.
Yeah, so what I liked about him, like I said, is that it's comedy, and it's supposed to be made fun of and light of, and it's not supposed to be taken so serious and stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, I think some of the racist stuff, they shouldn't be put out regularly, but I do find myself laughing at some of the racist things that do get put out, and it's just to make light of it. It doesn't need to be taken so serious.
Yeah, I mean, the way I always felt is I was always taught by family that that if you allow something to affect you, then it's effective. That if you take the power away, some people use it for a reason to take flight, but sometimes if you don't allow it, and they worked really hard to say it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was in high school and some kid put taco sauce on my new white jeans. I mean, that got me. But
your new white jeans?
Yeah, dude, I saved these white jeans forever, bro. I was in junior high. just moved to San Diego, man. I was creased up. I was looking good. And he said, you know what you call a Mexican with hot sauce? And he dropped it and he said a hot,
Oh, really?
it squirted my whole, man.
Ooh.
But that's more than a word. That was an action and a thing. But back then, I probably wasn't even nowhere in my walk. So, but
So,
now,
that
you know what
picture
though?
got
I mean,
handled.
someone do that to me now, I would die, bro. Like I would, because like people work so hard to try to offend you, and when you finally like allow that to trigger you, they get their thrill. But dude, when everybody's watching and they don't get the reaction they want, it's kind of like wah, wah, wah.
Fact. But yeah, like I said, I wanted to touch on some of the lighter things.
I'm
Some of
like,
the other lighter things that you start seeing that's happening right now. I guess it wouldn't even be the light thing. Let's look at the fault lines that are happening and all the earthquakes that are going everywhere. Shout out to Venezuela and stuff. Keep them in your prayers. There's many people that are still missing over there, and the concern of everything that's happening in other places. But yeah, when I start looking at some of the things that are happening in the world, it reminds me like, these things were actually spoken of in the book of Revelations. So, it still doesn't mean that we don't have care and we don't think about it. But at the same token, we wanted to talk about the first 20 minutes of our live about some of the things that people are actually seeing and what's going on. You got some lighter news, please.
you know what,
Chime
man?
in.
I'm just kind of giggling because like as you're speaking about all this, I have no clue because you know what, man? I haven't been in the news or in the worldly, like if it's not happening on my block, you know what I mean? Like I'm not paying attention, and as you're saying this, I'm hearing like, God, that's pretty peaceful. You know what I mean? Because I don't know none of this. Like,
Ah.
you know what I mean? Like even I guess my algorithm hasn't hit it yet on the social medias, but I do know about the Eagles left the nest. If you guys have tuned in, you know me and these Eagles at Big Bear Lake, man. I didn't get too attached to this one because when
really?
when the babies died the first round, the eggs got cracked. It just reminded me that Mother Nature is not all pretty and glamorous. It's savage.
You
And,
know,
you know what I mean? Like,
Nature is really savage, man. They don't realize how effective,
bro, I was starting to watch like some bear shows, and to see like the bears are trying to kill the cubs, and it's like total opposite of human beings, but like the humans are still trying to humanize. I was like, you cannot.
it's nature, man.
And so like I watch these eagles, and it's just amazing to me that something could go from conception to physically to where you see something pop out to wingspan knocking the other bird out of the nest, and like, oh my God, is he gonna like? But to see that no matter what we're afraid of, they're not. You know what I mean?
Dude.
Because it's just part of it's the circle of life.
Think about animals right now, and whatever it is, whether it's a wolf or it's a fish or it's a bear, most of the time they attack with their face. I'm not gonna try to attack anything with my face and teeth. That's the only thing you got. I get it. But you know how brave and how fierce you have to be to attack something
You know
and
what?
kill it
As
with
you
just
said
your
that,
face.
I got to send you some of these memes of like how to fight a bear, where it's like you hit him low and you do a DDT and you jump off the top rope, and like this bear's just getting DDT'd and WWF'd. But
that's awesome.
like the only way I can fight a bear is die.
I'm running.
Yeah,
I'm climbing a tree, whatever. But at the same token, I seen videos of those guys going up trees and running like 35 miles an hour. So, either way it goes, nature is savage.
That is
and
it.
you've probably seen some things where my son was telling me about this hawk that started to chase this owl out of one of the trees nearby. And then he turned around and told me that owl came by later at night
And cleared house.
It cleaned house on that nest.
I saw that, man.
And I was like, "That's some cold stuff. That's some grudge, boy. That owl has some grudge, boy." He's like, "You know what? Cool. Wait till you go to sleep, homie. Wait till you go to sleep. Wait till the lights go off on the block." and went to work.
Dude, and they came in and cleared the whole net, and all that hawk was doing is providing. it picked on the wrong. You know what I mean? It picked on the
He
wrong.
picked
one.
on an owl that got revenge and
yeah,
vengeance
well,
on his mind.
And it just reminds you that you got to be aware of the decisions you make. That hawk was the leader of the light. You know what I mean? Like it was the top dog of the daytime of that situation. But the hawk or the owl could see perfect at night, where the hawk and the eagles can't, and they're at the mercy of the darkness. And that just reminds you that like you may say something in the light that you will have to defend in the dark. You know what I mean? And don't get it twisted on these podcasts and on all these lives that people do. People would think it's funny to get out there and pop off at the mouth. But then you run into
You
this.
never know when that other person coming
Yeah.
around. They catch you at the gas station. You know, they catch you at and I. That's one of the things I think that happens in the workplace, right? We see people in the workplace, and I bet you there's a lot of people that are watching. If they're watching right now, you can testify to this, that somehow, some way, bosses and people on the job act like that power on the job, and they can treat people like trash and everything there. But you eventually leave the job. You have no power over anybody else when you leave that job.
Man, you ain't got no power of anybody
You know,
at that job. You
But
just
they
got-
walk around with that and use that as a threat, like, I control your livelihood. No, you really don't.
Hey, what scripture is that where the demon or the spirit is like, I know of Jesus
I know of Jesus and I
know
know of Paul,
but
but
don't
who
know,
you?
Yeah, who's
you?
And dude, every time someone tries to come off at me with authority, I replay that in my head and I just smile because like you may think you have authority and title wise you may have authority, but man, that owl will catch you at night.
Back, man. I found this job when I went looking for it. I'll find the next one when I go looking for that one.
I wanted a shirt that said I lied to get this one and you lied to me about it. So I mean, like we all lying anyway. So far we got 4 people in the chat. If you're there, let us know that you could hear us and that everything's going well. I do.
Yeah, just post something up on it, and then we'll know who's in.
I do see someone anonymous.
That's good. That's good. We're not going to try to put out those names anymore, which is
bad.
cool. So
My
we thank
bad.
you so much for that.
bad.
But at the same token, man, like I wanted to get more into some of the other things that happened during the week that everybody else is actually dealing with. One of the other things I was talking about was like it's really funny how things this week is in terms of the election and everything that's going on. I guess talking about this needs to be voted on, that needs to be voted on. Now, when you talk about news, bro, I pay no attention to any of that. I just hear that was going on. But if you want to talk to me about some sports and stuff, what I will tell you this much is what I'm watching and I'm seeing in there is a lot of the European people that showed up here in America for the World Cup is experiencing America in a whole different way. I'm seeing them out there and they're saying like, yo, we've been lied to. They told us this, America wasn't this and America wasn't that. And now they're getting a glimpse of America. Like, I seen them go to Buc-ee's. Now, if y'all ain't never been to Buc-ee's,
That place is wild.
isn't it, man?
Wild.
And the person that dreamt Buc-ee's up for a gas station, oh my goodness, man, that dude got some vision and made it happen.
You know, I went to my first Buc-ee's. I was with my sister and Todd in Houston. We went out there for elevation nights.
Okay.
I flew out to meet them. They're like, if you get the hotel, I'll get the flight. Come down. I got a concert ticket for you. And we went down there, and she's like, "This." And Todd's like, "Hey, have you been to Buc-ee's? Let's go in." And bro, I went in there, and I was so overwhelmed with the selection. Like, bro, I left with 2 things I didn't even want, but it was just because I could never buy those 2 things together.
Yeah. And at a gas
Dude,
station.
it was like 40 registers, like 18 ices. There was like ice, like what are those the coolers? Like at the store they usually have 1 or 2 at the front. There was one at every register, and I was like, man, why do I need to buy a lawn chair with a beaver on it?
Bro, it's a gas station, and Buc-ee's is selling barbecue pits, selling picnic chairs, and
Lawn decorations, wall decorations.
Buc-ee's got a whole section for clothing.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie though, I took a picture of that beaver. I was just like,
nice, man. But I'm not going to take anything against them, man. I'm telling you, they barbecue biscuit sandwiches
They
is
do.
on point, bro. It's on
someone told me,
point.
"Oh, you gotta go to Kansas." I was like, "I'll just go to Buc-ee's because Kansas is way too
Yeah,
far."
man. So it was. I had no problem with it. Every time I head up north, I try to make my way into there. And Bucky's, whoever, shout out, man. Like I said, it's worth it. It's worth it.
You know what? You know what, man? We just went to Carter Lake Sunday, and we were supposed to stop on there on the way back. And you know what, bro? I didn't even see it.
Really?
I think because we were just in the groove, like music playing. Man, so Midget, I apologize. We didn't go to Bucky's.
No Bucky's, man. No
Buckaroos-
brisket sandwich,
no
man.
Buckarooskies.
No beaver chips.
Hey, but I did get on a pontoon boat, and I ain't gonna lie, that was an adventure because I was
nice.
like, they're like, Chris, you gonna get on the tube? Nope. but I did have fun, and it was an experience, and you know, I can't say it was on my bucket list, but it's definitely, I'm glad I got to experience something outside.
And the lake's cool, bro. Like, people don't realize how many lakes we have here in Colorado, and that
I mean, I've been on a jet ski once,
Okay.
and I was more worried I was going to wreck or like hurt myself, that, you know, and it wasn't my jet ski, so I was like, I kind of took it easy. And I've been on a snowmobile once or twice, and watching this my older friend go buck wild on it, I was like, yeah, no, I'm a little more reserved on it, but yeah, next time we're supposed to go back up again and hit it again because we bought a tube. And I was like, well, maybe next time I'll go. But I was like, I want to make sure someone else gets hurt first.
yeah, let somebody else tear up a shoulder.
Welcome in, Midget. See ya. I see ya. So it shows that we got 4 in there, but I'm not saying names of who I see. But if if you're in here, say hi. Make sure that if you want to be acknowledged, just send a wave or a middle finger or something.
Oh, the middle finger and stuff, man. But again, I like these lives. I like talking about some of the current events and stuff. You know, the truth of the fact is that, you know, we're not always super spiritual. Like some people will say, like, all you guys talk about is God, 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 God.
Don't get it twisted. We do.
And I have no problem with that. But don't
Right.
think for one moment that I'm super spiritual and I'm super holy and I don't have some type of problems that I'm dealing with and that life is so easy for me and stuff. It's
Yeah.
actually one of the things that I can say that it's not easy. I go through everything that everybody else goes through, but
Arius, we see you.
at the same token,
He
at the
said
same
middle.
token, with this, I realize that I have God, and you know what I believe is what I believe.
Right.
I'm not going to knock on anybody else what they believe. Like, yo, if you believe that, you know, the sun and the moon ain't real, and that the earth is flat, and that
Hey, you know what?
you know,
man?
if you want to believe that, I'll go ahead, believe it. I'm not going to take anything away from you.
Midget gave me the middle finger.
You know, so. But at the same token, don't be so mad and knock on people that of their beliefs.
Right. And that's what gets me is that, you know, we say it over and over and over. And in the comments, people want to take us to Bible study, and that's cool. Come get at us on Wednesday when we're actually in there studying and getting into, like, we fall back on scripture here because what we're talking about and what we're dealing with, we got to be able to reference it to something, because if we don't, then it's just our truth. We're not referencing it back to the truth. But man, don't get in the comments and talk to me what you think you realized in Sunday school, and you want to kick some knowledge. And man, go get in front, get on your own platform.
Have your own thing, bro. Have your own thing. But I want to give a shout out to Arius. You know, he's done a whole lot for the ministry where we're at terms of Mean Street. And I know he's moving on to other things that God has called him to. So, you know, word him up, Arius, you know, move forward, you know, keep walking with God. Like,
marching.
not everybody has to stay in the same church that they grew up in. You know, sometimes God calls you out of that
Oh wait,
position to move
we ain't
to other
supposed to set
places.
trip now.
No, we ain't never supposed to set trip.
I know. I'm just
You know, like, yo, I ain't gonna be like, oh, he left our church, so I ain't got nothing to say to him no more.
Mean
You
Street.
know, you know, we used to be homies and kick it, but now we,
Hey,
you know,
I had to.
no, you good, man.
had
And
to,
so
man.
I
Big up
wish
to
him all the
Arius.
props. He'll still be coming by and visiting, but at the same token, you know, Arius, hit us up when you're doing something, man.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
If we can roll through, we roll through. We give you support, bro.
Definitely. And you know, guys, like I said on the live as I was coming down here, make sure you guys, if you're in here and you're part of any type of men's group, other church groups, any groups, as long as it's pretty civilized, you know what I mean? That ain't going to get us a violation or have God sit us down and have a talk with us.
I'm sorry, man. Arius is like, throw up those hands. Throw up those hands.
Mean Street. But you know, guys, make sure that you guys share that, because you may be an outlet that somebody who's watching or will watch that's like right next door, and maybe your comments show the love of Christ, and you know, that's what's needed. You know what I mean? Like, it's not all about not all about like, I'm not going to push what we do. You know, this is a community. This is a movement, and it's really God's way. And
Man, it's
none of it,
kingdom minded,
yeah.
bro. And I'll say it again: kingdom minded folk think different than church folk. I'm one of those guys that, like, if you winning, I'm gonna clap for you no matter what. Even if you get above me and go ahead, I'm just gonna cheer you on. I don't care. I'm not one of those ones that's gonna knock anybody down. If anything, I'm here to lift everybody up, even more above.
Right.
And I feel like when you start to have that type of attitude, that's a reflection of Christ in you, saying, you know what, everything ain't always about me.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Amen.
about just seeing everybody grow. And this young man, I'm telling you guys, if you haven't heard this young man actually speak a word, you're doing yourself
Hey,
a disjustice.
I'm telling you, every time I see him, man, that inner slap your neighbor comes out of me. So, you know, he definitely inspires me to get my personality out in what I speak, and you know, he demonstrates a good way to deliver.
Well, what I really enjoy about him, bro, and this is on the up and up, is that it's the youth,
Right.
right? And don't get me wrong, there's times that I can see youth right now, and there's bad youth out there doing bad things and running amok and doing this and doing that. But I got to give props to the good youth like him and the other ones that have attended Mean Street, that you may fall off a little here and there, but you come back and you're moving, you know, quite well in society as a productive citizen, compared to the ones that we see being flaunted all over social media, and they're just causing racket. You know, they're swarming malls and grabbing a bunch of Louis Vuitton bags and stuff like that, you know, those grab and runs. So when it comes to young youth, I can tell you right now, there's a great move of a lot of them doing great things.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Arias did reply, "On fire for God," and I co-signed that 100%.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
way from his worship to his leadership, and then, you know, like I've seen him on a couple things, even though he didn't share them with us. To, you know, back to that. But you know what I mean. Like I can't wait to see what God has in store for him, and where his next journey takes him, and the impact that he makes for the kingdom going forward. So, you know, big ups to Arias, and we ain't going to
big
get
up,
too
Arias.
we're not going to get too emotional here, but big up to you, man. You know, we pray over everything that you're doing. I'm sorry I wasn't in town for your farewell, but like you said,
It's
that's
his continuation. He'll still be around.
yeah. He said that's mom and dad, so he ain't
he'll
going
be
nowhere.
around.
So look forward to passing you the camera controls.
Hey, here you go, man. Fix that, man.
That's
Beat on
it.
these drums a little.
Yeah, so the discussion we had the other day with the young adults is, what can Christians do for fun?
You could do about anything for fun. If you know, that's a good topic right
Hey,
now. Like, what can young dudes do for fun being a Christian?
He said it was a 3-hour topic.
Oh yeah, that's
Hey,
that's a huge long one to keep going down.
just be careful, because Drewski will get you.
Yeah, Drewski he'd be like, let's get these youth out here doing this.
Woo!
Drewski gonna get in on it, man. And I'm glad that they're having that discussion. Like, to be honest with you, there's a hard balance there, right? Like, you don't want to go have a nightclub and it's a nightclub for Jesus. You know, you can't be like doing the same thing that the world is doing and trying to attract worldly things to it. But at the same token, you know, you got to look at different things where what will fit and work. Like, if you went roller skating, all they did was play praise music at the roller rink.
Hey, you know what, man?
know?
I would need it, because I'm telling you now, you get me on
You ain't
8
getting me on
wheels.
those skates.
Yeah,
you
I
ain't.
mean,
I see
hey.
these dudes skating now, and nah, that ain't me.
Hey, I do like going though, just to watch, because like big ups to Doughboy that does the 5280 skate DJs or skate DJs, but he does that like Roller City in Aurora, and he has
really?
he has adult night or whatever, and I went in there just to kind of, me and Rampage went in to check him out, and dude, they was getting down, bro. They have like, you know, what's that movie? Sweet.
Oh yeah, I know what you're
roll
talking
bounce
about.
or whatever.
Yeah,
But man, they was getting it, man. They had the little trains going, and I've never seen nothing like that here in Denver. So it's kind of that Atlanta vibe.
I think that's cool, man.
Yeah.
For older and younger adults, if it keeps them in shape and
Yeah,
they're enjoying themselves, go and enjoy yourself.
I don't heal good, so
You
that's
know,
not for
yeah,
me.
man. No, if I fall on roller skates, it's a big and a long fall for me.
Like on that tube at the lake, man, I wasn't getting in that water, getting burnt like a crisp, and then have to come back and act like I'm not burnt. No,
No, I'm
not
good.
for me. But
Anyway.
so Arius, what was some of the ideas that they were able to do for fun on that 3 hour topic that you guys had?
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
3 hours.
3 hours.
I should have recorded a podcast with that. 3
Man,
hours.
hey, we as at our men's group, we used to get down for 2.5, sit in the parking lot for another 45. And,
Yeah.
get down. But so what would you add to that? What would you say as a young adult that you could do for fun?
As a Christian young adult, what I could do for fun besides that roller skating thing, I'll be talking about hikes, going fishing, doing jet skis, head to the pool.
Hey, I guess I got to tell them don't tune in to me when I'm DJing live.
Yeah. And, there's things that you could do all around. Just don't take it and be like, okay, this is an idol. This is what it means everything to me. It means I'm not going to stop doing this. And some of the things of the world can take you down a bad path, but it doesn't mean that some of the things of this world you can't enjoy. Right? Like, I think there's a lot of people that just totally leave that alone. Like, okay, you went to the concert. Cool. But did you get involved in all the drinking and the fighting and the hazing and all that? Or did you just go there to listen to some music and just, hey, I'm cool, just to get into a different atmosphere, see some different things and stuff. Don't let anything shade where you're too holy to even be out there amongst them, because Jesus was still everywhere.
Right. And then sometimes, like for me, I've always in my walk as I've progressed, as I came out of addiction, right? I would always hear you got to leave your grave clothes. Like, and when people say that, right, they're like, you got to quit being the old you and become this new you. But man, I still like to get down in my gangster gear and go out and be seen, because people don't relate to what they can't see. You know what I mean? And if I go out there and I'm trying to be this bishop when I'm not even a minister, I'm already losing the connection that God's given us. And you know what I mean? Like, to me, that's what it's all about, is being out in public to where you can have an encounter with somebody that would never step foot into a church to find that encounter.
And here's one thing that Arius was talking about. We set ourselves apart. And he's talking about the young, and just anybody in relationship with God is, you're building a community. But you have to be careful of the movies and the music that you watch and stuff, because the messages is not always there. Some of them are actually conditioning you to move in a different direction. And I agree with that and stuff. You shouldn't be watching I guess what I would say, and I heard a pastor say it before, he was like, we allow a lot of things to come into our eyes, and before you know it, it gets into your thoughts and then it gets into your heart. So you got to guard your heart. Isn't that one thing that the Lord always says? Guard your heart. So you got to be careful with that. And I'm pretty sure there was a lot of things said there and stuff in that conversation, which is good, because I feel like the youth need to actually have those conversations. Like, what can we do? How can we move? What will be better for us so that we can gather together more often and enjoy each other's company and stuff, right? Cool. Get at it. I don't think that when I was actually growing up, there was none of that. It was just straight up church. But I like what you just said about like being the light and the salt of the earth, that people don't even see anything. Like, you're not walking in there with a 3-piece suit on and carrying a Bible, and everywhere you go, that's where you're at. Right? Sometimes people will never step into a church, but they meet you, and then they were like, man, I don't even carry a title. Like, it doesn't matter what happens. I have no problem giving a word of God or saying something or preaching or teaching or anything, but I don't carry a title. I would never want to carry a title. And matter of fact, when people say something like that, hey, pastor, blah, blah, no. I'm just Brother Marcus. I'm just Brother Marcus, because anybody can do this.
Right. And I've I've addressed that too. Like I'm just Chris, man. You know, you want to title me, call me brother Chris, but
That's it.
I don't like I we always say every time on the podcast. You know, we're not pastors, we're not ministers, we're not theologians, we're not college professors. All we are is two dudes that had this conversation in a group and felt that these conversations probably need to be exposed to where other people that may have those same questions or those same desires to hear it. And everywhere I go, if someone asks me, what was the scripture we just talked about it the other day, to always be prepared to
Yes.
to give
To
a word,
give a word.
to speak the love of God
give a
and,
word.
and to demonstrate. And that's for me. That's what my whole walk is just being the light in a dark world. And I'm still human. There's still times where I want to pop off and take flight, but there's more now that it's more I want to take flight inner. You know what I mean? Like I have a battle inside me that sometimes peaks the chaos, but it's never like I'm not reaching out towards people.
Listen, man, there's a whole lot of things that happen, and you're definitely supposed to spread the word of God and try to get out there, but be the light and the salt. Like, really, it all starts with yourself.
Right.
And everybody's like, yeah, you could go a whole lot of different things. You can go Buddha, you can go a whole lot of different things. Freemasons do it and stuff. They're like, I can't change everything on the outside until I change everything on me on the inside.
Right.
Right. And so they're correct right there. But that takes time, that takes practice, and it's the same thing. The only difference between us and what I would say Christianity is that we build a relationship with God.
Right.
We know He's real. It's not a thought. It's not a figure of our imagination. He's proven Himself time and time to me. And if anybody has that question Him. Ask Him. He'll reveal Himself to you.
Yeah.
Are you willing to hear Him?
And before we take off, because we're right about the 30-minute mark, and we still
Cool.
got a few people in here, but I just wanted to touch on last night's conversation that we had at men's group, and just kind of put this out there. Like, a lot of us listen to scriptures and listen to messages, but we don't do our own digging and try to like figure out other questions. And what you said right there is ask Him. That's where I started getting in my walk, because every morning I do the soaps. I start to question things. You know what I mean? Like I want more answers. I'm hungry for more revelation. You know what I mean? Like there's things in me that instead of just I wonder what that was, now I'm searching for. You know what I mean? I'm digging. I'm reading. And what I'm not doing is I'm not taking someone else's sermon for it, but what I'm doing is I'm digging into it, and then I'm talking to people that I trust that can give me direction, or are you right or are you not right? But in 2 Timothy, what was it?
4-6. Was it 2 Timothy 4-6?
I think so. I got it right here, but But last night when I got into this message, it was good to see the room engage. I think we went about 25 minutes over just talking about it. But it's 2 Timothy 4:6-8.
6-8.
And about fighting the good fight. And when I did my study, that's the only part I ever heard. I only heard I grouped it as like I'm fighting the good fight, even though I was probably wrong, but I was still fighting the good fight. And see, that's how good God is that He allows us to start out baby steps. You know what I mean? Like on the bottle and cry a little bit, and then as we start to go, we fall. We figure out how to get comfort and whatnot. But like as you start reading these scriptures again and digging into them and asking the questions and talking to other people that have the education and that could point you to other scriptures, but to come back and find out that in this sermon about finishing, how many guys start something but never finish it. And that part to me like shook my whole the whole reason I went that route with the message last night. But how many of, and I just wanted to bring that up as we're getting ready to get out of here, is it was good stopping in, have to head out, wanted to come on one day. I'm going to text you both. Good deal, Arius, man. It was good to see you, and have a good night. Thanks for stopping in. We appreciate you. But how many of us have started something like On Fire for God? Had a vision, had a project, had a group, had something, and then that's as far as it got started, and that never got finished. And through that message last night, the part where he says, "I finished," I fought the good fight. I did what I was supposed to do, and I finished. And we got into that talk today at work about that too, and a lot of people are like, man, that's pretty wild because all of us are guilty of it. You know what I mean? Like I just started putting cameras up. I didn't finish. I had to go. But I just wanted to get your thoughts on that as we get out of here.
I think the thing about what Paul was addressing, that he fought the good fight, and he finished the race and everything before him, which was his assignment and his purpose that God called him to. We're going to fail at a lot of things that we want to do.
Right.
And I think that the enemy will make you feel like you can't accomplish anything when you keep on having those thoughts in your mind on the things you started, but you stopped. And you started this and you stopped. And you try to rebuild this car, but then you stopped, right? Or you try to do this on this house, but then you stopped. And it sat there for 6 months and you never went back to it and stuff. Here's the thing about Paul. When Paul was called to his assignment and to his purpose, God was with him and God called him to it. That's why he was able to see all the way through it. Did the enemy come and try to do things to hinder that and stop him from doing it? He's done that to so many men already, here, now, and in the past. The question is when you do get that assignment from God, can you be one of the ones that says, I have finished this race.
Right.
I have given the good fight. I have done that. I aligned myself with God. God showed me my purpose, and I completed that. It will come at a cost.
Right.
And I think the problem with everybody is that when it just shows you the cost, some people back away from the cost because it costs them too much.
I'll tell you right now, dude. I went to go look for a washer and dryer, and I saw that cost, and I'm putting up with the one.
So I would say that, like, even with the us here, when we started this conversations with the Mafia podcast, it started off with 4, and the vision was there, and the assignment was there,
right,
and the purpose was there. But look who stood faithful to it. There was no excuse. There was no like, I got to give this up. I got to give that up. I can't do this. I can't do that. It was like, okay, who's going to stay faithful to the task? And that's what God looks at.
Yeah.
And so don't knock to the brothers that started it with us. No, but I don't have to answer about that. I don't have to answer about it. What I have to answer is the purpose that God called me to do, what he's called me to do, and stay faithful to that. Stay faithful to the fight. Stay continuing until I finish it. And it's a battle all the time.
You know what, man?
It's a battle all the time.
Hey, you guys saw what happened on the last live, right? The battle was live and kicking. Ooh. I mean, it just died on us. And, we did a double check. That's what took a little bit longer to get going and make sure that, the new studio setup. So big ups to Marcus, Coach Marcus on the studio gig. He came up the stairs with some new chairs, and here we are chilling. And
hey, we about ready to blow this thing up even more and do a little bit more designing. But I like to try to change things up. Let our audience, if y'all don't like it, please say something. Not like I'm really gonna be like, I'm changing it because I'm not a people pleaser, but. You might want to be like, throw some flowers in there or put a plant in there. Hey, we ain't got no sunlight in here. I'm not bringing no fake stuff in. So, with that being said,
please don't say put some flowers.
We want to thank you guys for tuning in. Definitely. We're about ready to kick this off. I really don't want to go further than 30 minutes on this lives. But with that, everybody that chimed in, Arius, Missy, all the anonymouses and stuff, thank you so much for coming in, and we look forward to hearing from anybody that's got comments.
They're like, did you see who that was in the chat? I did not see.
I didn't see anybody.
But that's all we got, man. We're about to jump into a live episode. Make sure you guys check out the podcast page, CWTM Podcast at YouTube, Facebook, TikTok are the main ones. We're on. Somehow on Instagram. I don't know how I got the right content on there, but clips are dropping. We got the one that just dropped yesterday.
We got so many clips going out. And you know what I like? Give props to Chris for all the editing and everything else he puts out, especially even for his soaps. You guys got to read and tune into some of those things. And even, the subjects that he hits with the conversations with the Mafia, putting all the graphics together and stuff. It's been a work in progress, and we both have our own thing that we bring to this particular calling that God's called us to do.
And I just wanted to get into what we just released because I don't have my piece of paper in front of me. But the episode that we just dropped, 56, is out now, and it's the biggest lie men tell is I'm fine, I'm okay. That is episode 56. 57 is going to drop, and that's talking about the release without exposure. And those are the clips that are going to be coming out here shortly. I think they start today or tomorrow.
Yeah.
But man, we're blowing it up, and unfortunately, some of the clips I had somebody message me and be like, "You guys are putting the same clips out." No, just sometimes when we do a double episode where we're wearing the same gear, and you just got to deal with it, man. Listen to the conversation. It's definitely not that. But guys, just remember that the clips are just that. They're just promos to the video. We take the what we feel is the most important parts just to kind of get your attention. But every Monday at 4 o'clock Denver time, they drop on the YouTube channel. Make sure you guys go check them out there. Again, we got 56 episodes. There's quite a few to go back to, and guys, make sure you're commenting, share it. It don't take much to hit the share and like button. Send it to a friend, and big ups to our TikTok audience. We had a couple clips go 1K almost over there, and I think we only have like 29 or 30 followers. So that's pretty major to see a couple of the messages get out. But that's what we got. We're about to cut this live again. This is our Tuesday live with you guys. Make sure if there's something that you guys want us to chime into, or hey, if you want to get into the conversation, let us know a little ahead of time. I could try to bring you in remote. And I don't know how that will work, but I'll figure it out.
We'll give it a try.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll shoot it up.
And if it don't work, at least you could talk in the comment section with us as we respond. But again, thank you guys for chiming in. Make sure you guys like it, share it, and
till next time, tell a
friend
friend
to tell a friend. We did it again. Till next time, peace.
Peace.
Kind of peace. Hold on. I got a little ahead of myself there. Good. Have a good one.